In perspective, there is a difference between failure as an event and failure as a person. I've failed 3 times is quite different from having failure. I've failed 3 times suggests an event or a battle that is ongoing. So your response after a fall determines whether you are a failure or not. You know, the game of football has indoctrinated many into believing that it is not over until the final whistle. And it might interest you to know this morning that the person, speaking of God Almighty, officiating the march of your destiny, holding the final whistle, will not blow the final whistle until you score the much needed goal that is needed for your success. Even if he has to shift the goalpost for you to score that goal, definitely is willing to do that. So don't give up the fight, because success is waiting for you on the other side. So with that motivation, I welcome you to here today, your Monday morning insightful current affairs shows on this channel, Osrc Television. And today promises to be a very engaging one, be the last edition for the month of July 2025. I'm your host, Alex Adejoye. Of course, I'm never a lone ranger on the show this morning. I got with me Ade Bukola Oba. Good morning, Bukola.
Good morning, Alex.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
How was your weekend?
Fine. I trust you had a restful weekend yourself. Viewer, it's another beautiful edition of AM Today. And we are coming to you live from the Osrc Television right here in Orita Obele, Akure. My name is Ade Bukola Oba, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the program. Taking headlines from around the world and also engage you in conversation and issues that matter to you and our society. So do well to stay with us and don't go anywhere.
All right, engage you in conversation that matter. Our first port of call this morning, as you know, we take our stories making the headline from the national dailies. And with me this morning, I have the Nation newspaper, the Guardian, and the Daily Trust. Starting with the Guardian, governorship, I'm starting with the Nation. I beg your pardon. Governorship, APC upload Sharafaddin Danladi candidate. Amsat Yayi also listed. The list we have this morning as far as the governorship candidate for APC, we have Obafemi Amsat Lagos, Solomon Adiola Ogun, Kingsley Chinda Rivers, Eric Opa Abia, Mohammed Abubakar Bauchi, Mustafa Gabio Bonu, Jamliu Gawama Gombe, Aliyu Wadada Nasarawa, Baba Malam Wali Yobe, Ashit Alia Benue, Basi Otu Cross River, Sheriff Oberevori Delta, Francis Nwifuri Ebonyi, Peter Mba Enugu, Umar Nabdi, Idris Kebi, Caleb Mutawak, Plateau, Umo Enu Akwa Ibom, Dauda Lawa Samfara, and Hamed Aliu Sokoto. All issues surrounding the governorship primary in the state, where the contests were contentious, have been resolved by the All Progressive Congress, APC. It was learned last night all about one of the party governorship candidates have been uploaded into the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC portal. Governorship election will be conducted in 28 states. The APC has uploaded the particulars of its governorship candidate and their running mate in 27 states. The only state left is in the Northeast, where the choice of a running mate is expected to be decided at a stakeholder meeting in Abuja today. In the state, the serving deputy governor has completed 2 terms and needs to be replaced. Among those already uploaded are the governorship candidate for Kwara, Oyo, Adamawa, and Bauchi State, where the primary were fiercely contested. House of Assembly Speaker Yakubu Danladi Shaliu is the APC governorship candidate in Kwara. Senator Sharafaddin Ali name has been uploaded as the Oyo State governorship candidate. His running mate is Adesoji Adedeji. Ahmed Tijani Galadima, a former executive secretary of the Petroleum Technology Development Fund, PTDF, is the Adamawa State governorship candidate, while former Governor Mohammed Abubakar is the Bauchi State governorship candidate. If you are interested in the details of the list, okay, check the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, I'm going to be taking my first story from Punch newspaper. Assembly crisis. Osopadek denies role as Speaker's resignation deadline expires. The Ondo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission has denied involvement in the ongoing leadership crisis rocking the State House of Assembly. Crisis erupted in the Assembly as 21 out of 26 members signed the impeachment notice of the Speaker, Mr. Olamide Oladiji, following allegations of financial misconduct. The Speaker was alleged to have diverted a sum of 44 million naira for reordering the budget of the Osopadek. The angry members had given the Speaker till Sunday to resign or face impeachment on the floor of the House in their next sitting. In a statement issued by the Commission's Director of Media and Corporate Affairs, Godson Ewata, on Saturday, Osopadek denied media reports linking it with the controversy on the 44 million naira allegedly misappropriated by the House leadership. According to the statement, all interactions between the Commission and the State House of Assembly were conducted strictly within the framework of constitutional provisions, statutory obligations, and established administrative procedures, stressing that decisions taken by the legislature remained solely the responsibility of the Assembly. It said Osopadek has absolutely no role in the internal affairs of the Ondo State House of Assembly. For more details on this story, you can find on the Punch newspaper.
Okay, still very much party lacks ideology. The presidential candidate of the Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC, Peter Obi, yesterday defended his frequent movement across political parties, attributing it to the absence of ideological direction in most political parties and the persistent internal crises that have weakened them. Obi also accused the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, of deliberately encouraging instability within the opposition party as part of a strategy to weaken alternative political platforms and reduce competition in the country's democratic space. The former Anambra State governor, however, declined to disclose the detail of his policy agenda or how he intends to tackle Nigeria's economic and security challenges if elected president in 2027. Instead, he assured Nigerians that he possesses practical solutions to the country's problems but would not reveal them publicly. He spoke an interview in a Channels television program aired last night. Obi, who said he will fight corruption frontally if elected, and admitted holding banks' account in Save Heaven Abroad as exposed by the famous Panama Papers. He described the money in those accounts credited to over $100 million as family savings. The NDC standard bearer justified it, saying that if he could save for Anambra State when he was governor, why would he not save for his family? Okay, if you are interested in the details of that story, you get in the Nation newspaper. Okay. You know, I'm just Obi. I'm not trying to criticize him this morning, but he said something that the reason why he's itinerary is because most of the parties he has engaged with lacks the political ideologies. But what the question now is, if we talk about Labour Party today, to some extent, this is a party that contributed to your presidential ambition. One way or the other, it's shaped it. For you now to leave that party and now coming to the public saying because the party lacks ideology. If the party lacks ideology, as the leader, what's stopping you from providing the ideology for the party? That's ensuring that the party is stable. No, accusing the ruling party for causing instability in that political party, to me, I'm not really sitting down well with that. Well, that's the question. Understanding.
That is the question on the lips of many Nigerians now. That is Peter Obi really fit to be president when he cannot even resolve the issues of the parties he was in, and is going from parties to parties. Now he's claiming that some parties have do not have they lack ideology.
What's stopping you from providing the leadership? That's what leadership is all about.
Well, 2027 is going to decide who is going to be the next president of Nigeria. Right. I'm still on Punch newspaper. FG raises varsity workers hazard allowance to 486,000 naira. The federal government has approved an upward review of hazard allowances and other earned benefits for members of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions in federal universities. Under the new remuneration package, laboratory hazard allowance for senior employees will increase by as much as 126,000 naira annually. The package takes effect retrospectively from January 1, 2026. The approval was conveyed in a circular issued by the National Salaries Incomes and Wages Commission, dated July 20, 2026, following the agreement reached between the federal exclusively, I beg your pardon, obtained by our correspondent in Abuja. The circular, signed by the acting secretary of the commission, Adigiogu A. Chadi, was addressed by the Chief of Staff to the President, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Ministers, Permanent Secretaries, Heads of Government Agencies, and other senior public officials. It stated that the federal government has approved the payment of the consolidated non-teaching tools allowance and reviewed earned allowances for eligible non-teaching staff in federal universities. The circular read, following the agreement between the federal government of Nigeria and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, dated 29 June 2026, the federal government has approved the payment of the following allowances to non-teaching staff members of NASU in federal universities. For more details on this story, you can find on Punch newspaper.
Okay, still not leaving the Nation newspaper, newspaper yet. Diri, Matawale, Irabo, Dixon, Agwai, Okiru, others for first daily security summit. Nigerians' eminent political figures, military commanders, security experts, legal practitioners, and public affairs analysts are expected at the first daily national dialogue on security. The event, which holds tomorrow at the Sheikh Musa Yar'Adua Center, Abuja. The National Dialogue on Security is designed to provide a non-partisan national platform for frank, practical, and solution-driven conversation on Nigerian security architecture. The objective is to generate actionable recommendations that will strengthen national security, promote peace, and support sustainable development. Among those expected are Bayelsa State Governor Doyle Drill, who will serve as the special guest of honor and deliver a special paper titled Governors as Chief Security Officers in Nigeria. The Bayelsa Chief of Defense Staff, General Martin Luther Agwai, and the national leader of the Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC, Senator Henry Serac Dixon. Also confirmed to attend the national dialogue is the Minister of State for Defense, Dr. Bello Matawale, while the keynote address will be delivered by a former Chief of Defense Staff and one of Nigeria's most accomplished military strategists, General Lucky Irabo, retired. Other distinguished speakers who have been confirmed for the participation include a former Inspector General of Police, Sir Mike Mbama Okiru, a former interim administrator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, Colonel Milan Diko, retired, and the Executive Director, Operations and Technical Tanita Security Service Nigeria Limited, Captain Weredi Enuswa, a former intelligence officer of the Nigerian Army and security consultant Major Lancet Ananyanya, retired. The list is a long one. If you are interested, you get in the Nation newspaper this morning.
Okay, I'm still on Punch newspaper. Now to Metro News. An Ogudu Magistrate Court has remanded a lesson teacher, identified simply as Michael, at the Ikoyi Correctional Center over the alleged defilement of a 15-year-old student in the Ketu area of Lagos State. The development was disclosed by the Lagos State Police Command on Friday, days after Punch Metro reported the alleged rape and claims that some police officers attempted to frustrate the prosecution of the case. Punch Metro had reported that the survivor's mother, Mrs. Zainab Musa, accused some police officers of pressuring her family to accept 200,000 naira and withdraw the case. Reacting to the allegation on Tuesday, the command spokesperson, CSP Abimbola Adebisi, dismissed the claim as a mere allegation and insisted it was untrue. She maintained that the case was still under investigation at the time and assured that the suspect would be prosecuted. The case is still ongoing and the suspect will be arraigned in court as soon as he is fit to face judgment, she had said. Adebisi explained that the case was reported at the Ketu police station on July 13, adding that the suspect was arrested and detained the same day for investigation. For more details on this, you can find on Punch newspaper. But one thing I actually want to talk about is about this issue of sexual assault. Even though it's not only limited to the female gender, of course, we've seen cases where the boy child is also been assaulted. But you know, the more the justice system give punishments to these offenders, the more I think is going to reduce in society. We need a safer and a safer society, and we do not we want the pedophiles and these sexual offenders to remain in the society, because it's a detriment to the future of these younger ones. So I think it's commendable to keep seeing the courts and the justice system give enough justice to sexual offenders like this.
Yeah, I know you are right, but I also feel that there's never been a time where the justice system in Nigeria has kind of shown sympathy for sexual offenders or predators. But sometimes the authority or the security agencies involved trying to be careful to ensure
like
that
this now, you know,
all parties.
They were actually saying that the mother of the victim should accept 200,000 naira to die down the case, and I will
but it's in the public domain already, so that cannot be buried. So what I'm just saying is that we also look at the part where the so-called sexually offended, I mean the victim now, was strengthening the country's security architecture. It may urge the federal government to complement the expansion with improved welfare, modern equipment, and enhanced operational capability for troops combating insecurity across the country. Last Thursday, President Tinubu approved the establishment of 4 new army divisions in Makurdi, Ilorin, Jalingo, and Benin City to improve military coordination and response time. According to presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, the decision underscores the president's commitment to equipping armed forces to tackle Nigerians' evolving security challenges and further strengthen national defense. In a statement at the weekend in Abuja, the senator representing Borno South said the military expansion should be backed by 9 resistant ambush-protected MRAP vehicles and armored personnel carrier. You need to stress that the effectiveness of the military in certain
and the
different
use of
regions.
Technology is no exception.
Definitely.
We need to deploy more usage of technology to combat this issue of
I believe the federal government is really working on that, and it's actually, like you said, in this 21st century, is actually the way to go. As a matter of fact, if you have to prevent crime before they happen, it means you're actually responding well to 21st century security challenges. Very, very important.
All right, now I'm moving away from Punch newspaper to Nigerian Tribune. Osun NDE urges unemployed residents to register for RHEI Phase 3. The National Directorate of Employment, NDE, Osun State Directorate, has urged unemployed and unskilled residents across the state to take advantage of the federal government's Renewed Hope Employment Initiative, RHEI Phase 3, by registering through the official online registration portal. The initiative, introduced under the Renewed Hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu, is designed to combat unemployment by providing demand-driven skills training that will promote self-employment, entrepreneurship, and sustainable livelihoods. The Director General of the National Directorate of Employment, Malam Silas Ali Agara, described the program as a key intervention aimed at equipping Nigerians across the country. Similarly, the Osun coordinator of the NDE, Mr. Olarewaju Abiodun Oladele, said the program offers training in agricultural trades, vocational trades, entrepreneurship development, and renewable energy training. Oladele encouraged interested applicants from all the 30 local government areas, the area office, and the area office extension in the state to register free of charge through the official RHEI registration portal at www.nderegistrationportal.ng. Registration exercise is free. I think that's commendable from the Osun NDE. And we want to see more youths develop their skills. And the one thing is about training them in this sustainable energy, because renewable energy training is actually a good one for the country as at now that the power sector is constantly having issue. You know, alternative, of course, the alternate energy have this training in this renewable energy.
Absolutely, you're right. So from the Nation newspaper to the Guardian, Serap sues NNPCL over failure to account for 211 trillion oil fund. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has sued the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, at the Federal High Court in Abuja over its failure to explain and account for 211 trillion recorded in its 2023 audited financial statement as sundry receivables and acquired expenses. In the suit marked FHC ABJCX 1427-2026, SERAP is seeking an order to mandamus compelling the National Oil Company to disclose oil documents and information related to SERAP. The audited financial statement recorded 107.6 trillion as sundry receivables and 103.4 trillion as acquired expenses, but failed to provide sufficient details to enable publicity scrutiny of the transaction. The organization is seeking the court to compel NNPCL to provide a comprehensive explanation and supporting document on the 107.6 trillion classified as sundry receivables, including the identities of debtors, amount owed, and the legal basis for receivables and the status of the recovery effort. It is also seeking an order directing the company to disclose a complete breakdown of 103.4 trillion recorded as acquired expenses, including the identities of creditors and beneficiaries, the nature and the legal basis of their liabilities, and document establishing their legitimacy. Details of that article is published in the Guardian newspaper.
Now to world news on Vanguard newspaper. U.S. warns Nigerians with dual citizenship against traveling on foreign passport. The United States mission in Nigeria has reminded Nigerians who also hold U.S. citizenship that they must use a valid American passport when entering or leaving the United States. In a statement shared on its official X account on Sunday, the mission said the requirement applies to all U.S. citizens, including children who hold dual nationality. According to the mission, dual national U.S. citizens are not permitted to use their foreign passport to apply for an electronic system for travel authorization, ESTA. U.S. citizens are required to enter and depart the United States on a U.S. passport. This requirement applies equally to U.S. citizens, including children who are dual nationals, the mission stated. It warned that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security routinely denies or cancels ESTA applications submitted by the dual national U.S. citizens using foreign passport. Dual national U.S. citizens may not use their foreign passport to apply for an electronic travel authorization, ESTA. The Department of Homeland Security routinely denies or cancels ESTAs for dual national U.S. citizens, the statement added. The U.S. mission also advised American citizens living abroad, including those residing in Nigeria, to ensure that U.S. passports remains valid before making travel plans. For more details on this, you can find on the Vanguard newspaper.
Okay, on final note this morning on newspaper review, I'm taking this from The Guardian. Voters registration closes amid concerns over access and election credibility. With the rider, INEC rejects its extension, insists deadline compliance with Electoral Act. ADC, SDP split over closure of voters registration. Applicant decry glitches, delays on online registration portal. Coalition site court ruling seeking extension of CVR. Group 1's closure cloud differentiates first-time voters. Okechukwu urges INEC to prioritize credible polls. Government distraught PVC distribution. Carted away voters' card in Osun. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, yesterday ended the nationwide continuous voter registration CVR exercise, drawing mixed reactions from political parties, civil society groups, and election stakeholders who warned that the technical glitches, security concerns, and unresolved access challenges could undermine preparation for the 2027 general election. The Commission ruled out any extension of the exercise, insisting that the nationwide registration ended yesterday, and despite appeals by opposition, political parties, and civil society organizations for more time, it had urged eligible Nigerians who were yet to register to take advantage of the remaining hours before the registration window closed. Details of that you get on the Nation newspaper and the Guardian newspaper, so to say. All right, with that, I'm afraid that's the much we can take on newspaper review this morning. We'll take our first break. When we come back, it will be time to delve into our first discussion for today. It promises to be engaging. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Staying with us. It's now time for AM Today Insights. This is a segment where we are going to be going beyond the headlines and delving into the ideas and the stories and the questions shaping our everyday lives as Nigerians. So let's get into it. The first question I have here states, is hard work alone still enough to succeed in Nigeria? This is actually a question in the minds of many people, and you know, for many years, we've been told that hard work leads to success. Just work hard enough and success is going to find its way and to surely come to you. But in today's world, the question is changing. People are beginning to wonder if hard work alone is enough for success, because you see people working tirelessly, from traders, civil servants, entrepreneurs, teachers. These people work tirelessly every day, yet many people struggle to make ends meet. So at the same time, we see some people who get opportunities through education, technology, networking, and some people are just at the right place at the right time, and they get these opportunities. So it begs the question: is success enough still required for success in today's world? Or do we need to start looking at another approach? Where do you stand?
It's part of working hard.
Do you need to work hard to be?
Yes, it's part of working hard. It's not hard work now.
Okay.
Working hard means you are factoring in all possible means of getting that visibility. If you have to network. If you have to be creative to do something differently.
What about connection?
Yes,
people,
of course.
You know, my daddy knows my uncle, brother.
Let me tell you something for a fact. Whether you are connected by the virtue of your birth or by nature, but sometimes the connection you also need may be detailed or can be attributed to the value you want to offer. The people up there are also looking for your value. Because if anybody is going to get involved in whatever you are selling, he's also looking at his own interest.
Wow.
So they ask you the question, what value are you bringing to the table? So for me to help you, for me to get you that connection, I must see the value. You understand the point? So, and being valuable means you are hardworking. It means you are working smart. So that I
think hard work is still required for success. Well, maybe it's not just enough.
It's not enough. You must be smart with it. As little as packaging. You know, there's this trend now. Packaging. You package your business.
Okay.
There is no business that you want to do now. Somebody has been there before. There is no idea you conceive now. Somebody conceived it before you. But what makes the difference is the way you package it, the way you sell it to your audience. That is what we call the rebranding identity. You are rebranding it for people to see it differently. It's still the same package, but the packaging means you are doing it differently for people to see that this is unique. This is coming from a different point of view.
It's not just enough to work hard.
Yes, you also leverage on technology. There's no business, even if as what's it called? This rule of a thing, locust bean. Yes, you can package it. You know, sell it and stuff.
Are they respectful? Do they have empathy? Are they responsible? You know, all this. Of course, if a society is not only does not only need citizens who are successful. They also this society also needs citizens who have this moral values
The moral
instilled in
value,
them.
yeah.
The other day we had the Commissioner of Education here who made some you said some things talking about character development in the students in Ondo State. They are trying to bring about character development training for these younger ones, and it's actually commendable. We want a better future and a better society for every one of us. Of course, do you have something to add to that?
Yes, so I have something. That takes me to the concept of 3 C's. In any society, the concept of 3 C's is very, very important. You know, character, capacity, and competence. So it starts with the character, like you said. A child that is planning or that is maybe destined to become the president of a country, you know, it has to start with the character, moral value, inculcating moral value, on the need to see integrity as something that is very important. A child that lacks integrity or that is not exposed to integrity and honesty, when it gets to the position of leadership, what do you expect from that kind of a child?
Of course, every parent wants their child to be successful.
So it starts with character. It's like you said, character development. We must let them understand the need to be responsible, to have that integrity that in everything you do, whatever that is placed into in your custody, you must account for it. Accountability and transparency. Let people know that, okay, this is what I do, this is what I've done, this is, you know, so stuff like that. And also competence. Then we can begin to talk of competence and you can begin to talk of capacity and competence. A child that lacks character, you know, giving him that
as well.
Like you said, you're right. Personally, I don't think this concept of 8 to 6 method of learning is really working.
8 to 6 or 8 to 4?
8 to 6. You see some even coming around 7 p.m. in the night. So they don't even have time for other things. They don't even have time to venture into other aspects of life. What they do is 100% academics. You understand? And so when do they get to understand the concept of integrity, the concept of being honest? So if you build up a child to be competent and is lacking that moral values, then that kind of a child will possibly end up somebody not responsible. So maybe it's high time we really need to review.
Olden days where you send messages through post office, and even before the person who is to receive the message could get it, the news might have gotten stale. So on the other hand, we've seen that social metrics have shown that more people are spending time on their phone rather than speaking to the person next to them. So the question is social media helping us to connect, or it is slowly replacing genuine human connection? Where do you stand on this?
Yes, where I stand is, for every good thing, there is also a bad side of it. And abuse means when you use something, you can abuse something that is good. You can use it wrongly. So I think in our society today, I believe the concept of social media is for interconnectivity, to be connected. You know, like the world is a global village. Okay, we live in a globe. The world is like a street, and we get to reach other. If you want to criticize, because the world is watching, everybody is watching, and as a matter of fact, if you're claiming to be a president of a country, you're aspiring, and you are now, all you do on daily basis is to see the negative about that country.
Well,
so what are you selling? What are you selling to the international communities about your country?
Social media is helping businesses to grow online.
There's no doubt about that.
And of course, it's helping.
No, I said it's that the good side and the bad side.
The bad side.
So
how do we balance this in the first place?
So
how do you think we can balance?
You know, somebody said something interesting. I think we brought an expert on this show who said, in a country like China, even by the time you're scrolling on the news feed, what you see are responsible content, mature content, content that are national driven, that can help.
Let's talk about the fact that it's creating. It's not connecting people anymore. You know, there are some relationships that have been affected. People would rather be in a gathering and everybody will be on their phone rather than interacting with each other. Years ago, before social media, where everybody interacts and we can actually play games and talk. But these days, you see gatherings where people are just gathered in a place, and the next thing, everybody is on social media instead of interacting, replacing genuine human interaction or connection.
Yes, so if you say so, but even at that, we still need to look at the fact that what you're doing likely there, you're also interacting. Maybe kind of withdrawal. It's causing some level of withdrawal especially from the point of view of family. Teens no longer have, there is a law on ground that prohibits them from having access to the social media, which is a good one. You know, there are other things they should learn. Exposing them to the social media may not be for the good of that
well, those
country.
are the things. But the issue is not just even using social media. It's to ensure that it does not replace human connection. We can be on social media. We can interact on social. We can have friends. We can have a following on social media. But that should in no way replace genuine human connection.
Okay, let's put it this way. You came out of a school, right? But you lost some of your friends.
Yes.
But on social media, you can get them back.
Of course, we even have a WhatsApp group where we interact.
So it's not actually replacing human interaction.
What I'm talking about is real life, is like a relationship, friends, real life conversation. We can be friends now, and the next thing, you are on social media, instead of
means we experience a whole lot of challenges. For instance, you and your as a couple will step on each other's toes, and as a matter of fact, you must embrace the concept of forbearance. It means you've already forgiven before the offense. So marriage is not for people who feel like it's done, it's cooked, and we just get it going and it's going to be happiness all through. There will be ups and downs. But more importantly, you must work it out to make it
to me
work.
I think that, of course, marriage is a very important aspect of Nigerian society, but many young people they have different priorities now. Many people want to prioritize having financial stability, personal growth,
but they can still go together. Not to cater for your family.
I'm actually trying to land. Some people actually prioritize. Some people have priorities. They are prioritizing personal growth. They want.
Excuse me, ma. This is your 100% human year.
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair?
Since your landlord just increased rent, I saved for this one separately on money points.
Ma, you say you save on money points?
Yes.
This madam money points here, the array of yard there, his target savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub, his fees savings money points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact, son.
Jennifer, money point save as you transact. Money point fixed savings and money point target savings.
What's up? Why did I don't contribute to you? Why should they? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Hadaku to save. You see money points accounts there. You know go open a savings account. Now Hadaku you choose. I beg everybody inside this my saloon. Oh yeah, bring out your phone and download the money points hack now. Even you. What are you waiting for? Download the money points hack now. Hadaku, wow, open money points account.
Money point made for your progress.
She was called the Lioness of Lisabi a name that roared through the halls of colonial power and echoed in the hearts of women across Africa. Her name is Funmilayo Kuti, and mother to legends. But before the fame, there was fire. Born on October 25, 1900 in Abeokuta, present-day Ogun State, Nigeria. Funmilayo was born Frances Abigail Olufunmilayo Thomas. She came from a family that valued education, and in 1914, she became the first female student at Abeokuta Grammar School. Determined and brilliant, she later traveled to England for further studies, a rare feat for a Nigerian woman at that time. There, she trained as her life's mission. On returning to Nigeria in the 1920s, she married Reverend Israel Ransom Kuti, a clergyman and educator. Together, they worked to uplift their community through education. But Funmilayo was not content with just teaching. She saw how colonial rule and traditional structures oppressed Nigerian women, and she decided to act. In 1947, she founded the Abeokuta Women's Union, one of Africa's most powerful grassroots women movements. The group fought against unfair taxation, and they, encouraged by Funmilayo, marched in protest. They sang, they chanted, they occupied, and eventually they won. The Alake was forced to abdicate. Funmilayo Ramson Kuti was fearless. She was one of the few Nigerian women to drive a car, to travel widely, and to speak truth to power. Her activism didn't stop in Abeokuta. She was a founding member of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, a member of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroon's NCNC. And in 1953, she became the first Nigerian woman to visit the Soviet Union, a move that earned her the label Communist Sympathizer by British authorities. But she wasn't deterred. In fact, she was emboldened. In her later years, she focused on broader issues: education, voting rights, women participation in politics. She advocated for the inclusion of women in leadership and resisted Nigeria's slide into authoritarianism. She raised 4 children, including Fela Anikulapo Kuti, the legendary Afrobeat pioneer, instilling in them the spirit of resistance and truth. But tragedy would eventually come. In 1977, during a brutal military raid on Fela's compound, known as Kalakuta Republic, Funmilayo was thrown from a second-story window by soldiers. She never recovered from the injuries, and on April 13th, 1978, she passed away. Funmilayo Ransom Kuti was more than a mother, more than a teacher. She was a symbol of courage, of resistance, of dignity. She paved the path so Nigerian women could walk tall, speak freely, and fight for justice. Her legacy lives in every classroom, every protest, every woman who dares to say enough is enough. This was the story of Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, the lioness of listening, a voice that cannot be silenced, a spirit that lives on.
Academic activities as once again are brought to a standstill at Adekunle Ajashi University, Akungba Akoko. And we're now talking about the fact that the Academic Staff Union of University, AUA branch, has declared an indefinite strike, and they claim, one of their claims is that they really want to get involved. They want people to understand the fact that they're having issues of unpaid salaries, as well as other packages, other welfare packages that are yet to be resolved. And government also is maintaining a stand that they are much ready and available for a standing and a peaceful resolution. And to that effect, on the show, we're going to be discussing all of these, the reason for this indefinite strike, the reason for this action, and also possible, we are not going to be
June 2026. That is why we are currently on strike. But beyond that, it is pertinent for me to say that on that campus, we have over 1,000 reasons to go on strike. 1,000 reasons to go on strike.
Okay, 1,000 reasons?
Over 1,000 reasons to go on strike.
Are you saying government is not responding to some of your demands so far?
Well, as far as we are,
1,000 reasons.
As far as we are concerned, the university is going through a lot of challenges, financial challenges, and this has been on for a very long time. Talking about non-payment of salary, let me emphasize this here. As we speak, the monthly subvention to the university, that is the monthly subvention being given to the university by the Ondo State government, is 223 million. And the recurrent expenditure, which is the monthly salary, is 550 million. So if you do the math, you will see that it is grossly inadequate. And this has been one of the biggest problems to assist. It should be minimal, not a way of transferring the bulk of the problems to the administrators. That is exactly what we are facing here.
All right, Professor. Now let's talk about this issue of strike, because the strike is not only affecting the students, it's affecting parents and, of course, the academic calendar as well. And many people are beginning to wonder if strike is the only tool you can use to resolve disputes like this. So do you believe that strike is the only tool to resolve, or the only available tools, the only explore some alternative measures in resolving this dispute?
Let me start from where you stopped. Sorry, can you just give me one or two alternative measures that you believe will be better?
Solve this dispute.
All right, let me correct one general impression. I do not love strike. Let me say that emphatically. But it is always the last option, and it is always the weapon that government listens to. Let me say this: the procedure for declaring a strike by the union is very, very tedious. The union just doesn't wake up one day and declares a strike. No, it doesn't work like that. So many things will have taken place. There will have been letters written, there will have been meetings, there will have been negotiations, lobbying, all manner of things. And I can tell you for free, before this particular strike was declared, we had written several letters to the visitor, that's the Ondo State governor. We have held meetings with the management. We have held meetings with the Commissioner for Education, but nothing came out. So, because our people got frustrated, and we decided that, okay, the only language that the government actually listens to is strike. And I want to say this, talking about the student. I must say this, we actually empathize with them, but the truth of the matter is this: when people talk about strike, they take only the students into consideration. What about we lecturers? What about us? People should understand too.
What about you? You are demanding for what is beneficial to you.
Exactly.
Yes. But the students are the one suffering here, because by so doing, you are delaying their... I'm not saying you ASU precisely, but
it's affecting the academic calendar as well.
And it's slowing down the pace of learning. If you
so
agree
what assurance
with
can
All right,
you
let me clarify this.
Okay.
Do you know there are members of the union, members of ASU who are also students?
Yes, maybe.
We have those who are running their master's program, those who are running their PhD programs, and all sort of things like that. So when you talk about being affected, our members are equally affected. But beyond that, let us take everything into the normal perspective. We don't like strike.
Okay.
But then look at it. How do you expect a lecturer to give out the best if he or she has universities? And We have done all that is needed to do for us to demand for the implementation of this particular package. As we speak now, we are just waiting for the approval. And let me tell you, it is the national body that gives approval for a strike to take place in any of its branches. So as we speak now, we have demanded for approval from national, and all the processes have been completed. Any time from now, another action will start to demand for the implementation of the 2025 agreement. So this is just the first phase.
Well, Prof, many people are concerned that strike is becoming a recurring feature in Nigerian public universities. So from your own perspective, what do you think is the root cause of this?
To check them out and see what can come out of them. I just told you now that we have written several letters to the visitor. As we speak, he has not responded to one. Maybe like you said, if we as a union, if our leaders are able to meet with him, maybe we'll present issues better than the way the management staff will.
Yes, I believe
exactly.
There's power in a face-to-face dialogue.
Exactly.
So, to the question I asked earlier, what demands must be met before the strike has been called off?
It is very simple. Let our demands be met. Let our salaries be paid, and let the new salary structure be implemented.
Are you optimistic that these issues will be resolved very soon?
Well, I'm sure the governor has listening ears. I'm from, you see, we just got a new vice chancellor, Professor Obamuyi, and I must say this, that he has shown every tendency that yes, he's ready to work and he's ready to do.
Like you said, what's the level of communication between your union and the the VC? Because like we said earlier, very important, the mode of communication. That is this someone that is willing to present your demands in the most reasonable way to the government, or maybe it's the other way around. So what's the cooperation like between you and the VC?
Like I said, our former VC had a very VC action, and I'm saying it now openly, until we get our last.
Well, this strike raises some questions about the level of commitment that is being put to public universities in Nigeria today. So what role do you think the Ondo State government and the university management play in preventing...
It lies with the government. The government owns the university. You see, there shouldn't be breakdown in communication between the management and... We didn't get the results.
All right, I believe the governor is hearing, and I believe he's a man of his word. I'm not holding brief for him, but I believe is a man of his word. He will definitely meet your demands, and all of this will be resolved amicably. Now, I still want to take you on the broader issue now, the concept of IPPIS, Integrated Payment Rule and Personal Information System. Your union, nationally now, and the government has been on the back and forth of on this issue. What is really wrong? Is there anything wrong in adopting that for the university ecosystem? I
hope you are aware that the university system has been removed from IPPI. All right.
So why is the university environment different?
I hope you are aware that IPPIs has been confirmed to have some, a lot of irregularities. I don't want to use certain words on here. Okay. So, I don't want to use some union language here. So I'm just going to try as much as possible to be modest. There were so many irregularities. Somebody who was supposed to receive 250,000 naira will get 100,000 naira this month. The following month, that person will get 50. The third month, the person will not even get anything. There were so many irregularities. And the university, after a number of years, you are free to go on sabbatical. Why you still get money from your parent university? You will still earn money from wherever you are on sabbatical. Those are some of the issues not captured in IPPIS that raise those issues. That look, this thing, IPPIS does not capture the true, the true features of university system. That was why we raised. Just thank you for bringing up that. So now, if I'm due for sabbatical, I was granted sabbatical leave by my university. I now went to another university. The rule says I am entitled to both my salary in my parent university and my salary in the university where I am on sabbatical. But IPPIS will just remove my name from one, which is
so now the UTAS, how will it now create the balance?
The UTAS has taken care of all those anomalies and peculiarities that IPPS was not able to capture.
Okay, Prof, education is often described as the
union as part of people that will be making the decision.
Do you know that for years, ASU remains the only union that has fought for the welfare of people who are outside its membership? The union has fought for the development of the country, you know, other issues, this must be done. Let's look at everything holistically. Now, when you are talking about a union, look, the major goal of a union is the welfare of its members. Okay. But as stakeholders in the university, we are also part of the university system. But I want you to know, I want you to know that it is within our purview to go on strike.
But we are also looking at the student because we are stakeholders in all of these.
You are not looking at us too. You should look at us. Don't let us be selfish here. Let us look at us too. Think about us.
I believe if you still go to court, you may still have your way, and at the same time, academic activities can still be going on, and at the end of it, it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Well, we have tried that several times, and we know what happened. And I want to tell you that you are not a member of our union, so you can only advise us. The best way to go will be decided by the union. And like I said, we have leaders, we have different committees that look into this, and I know that we have done this severally in the past. It didn't work for us. And let me say this now. Let me say this, that everybody should take note of this. All the good things that exist on all university campuses in Nigeria today were achieved through strike actions. So why is it that anybody want to be opposed to that? The new salary structure for us in AAUA, and then think about the arrears, because the implementation actually started in January. It started all the way from January, and we are expecting the arrears. So you can see. So I'm saying that now because our strike may eventually end up in 3 phases. The first one, the one for our salary. The second one, the implementation, and the third one, which is likely to come, is the demand for the arrears.
Okay. Before we go, I've still need to take you on this. Now, maybe possibly government are watching us, and they also want to, as one of the leaders in that union, possibly give them reasons why they should invest more, expand the subvention, because a lot of people will tell you that the quality of product we have coming out of our universities these days, they are below standard. Some will tell you they are not even employable, though they are educated. So what guarantee or what assurance in a way of marketing that concept?
It is ridiculous. So the lecturers are not to be able to bring out the best in students. It is what you have as a lecturer that will bring out